Another 4 years for President Barack Obama, as a night of hard-won battleground state wins propelled him to victory over Mitt Romney. All the votes have not yet been counted, but as of right now, the president has 303 electoral votes, well over the 270 votes required to win. Mitt Romney has 206. As for the popular vote, a thinner margin. Barack Obama with just over 55 million, Mitt Romney with just about 1 million fewer votes. Well, tonight, thousands of Obama supporters poured into the streets of Washington, D.C. to celebrate outside the White House. And here in Times Square, just outside ABC's own election headquarters, thousands more cheering and waving signs. But right now in Chicago, my co-anchor Terry Moran reports from the biggest celebration of them all with President Obama and his campaign on a night of jubilation. Terry?
Well, what a night it was here, Cynthia. They're cleaning up behind me now, but Chicago's going to be rocking all night. There's no question about it, because victory is sweet for President Obama and his supporters. Maybe sweeter this time than it was the last time. Last time he soared into office on the wings of optimism in a moment of history. This time, he and they, this new American electorate that we see crystallized tonight, more diverse, younger, a new 21st century American electorate, they did the work. They swept him into office. The last time he kind of led them into power, but there's no question he realizes who did the hard work. Tonight in his victory speech, he made a point of saying how grateful he was to them for all their hard work. Here's what he said.
Thank you for believing all the way to every hill, to every valley. You lifted me up the whole way, and I will always be grateful for everything that you've done and all the incredible work that you put in.
It was a tough campaign, and it was tough personally at times as well. You got the sense that these were two guys who didn't entirely like each other, especially President Obama at times after he got his clock cleaned in that first debate. Sitting next to Mitt Romney in the third debate, it was almost a look of disdain on his face. But tonight, he realizes that he's just not the president of the people who were partying here. He's got to be the president of all the country and reach out to the man he vanquished, Mitt Romney, in a gesture that will be very interesting to see how it actually plays out. The president tonight, in his victory speech, invited Mitt Romney to sit down for a conversation about what they can do together for the country that they've battled over for so long. Here's what he had to say.
I just spoke with Governor Romney, and I congratulated him and Paul Ryan on a hard-fought campaign. We may have battled fiercely, but it's only because we love this country deeply, and we care so strongly about its future. In the weeks ahead, I also look forward to sitting down with Governor Romney to talk about where we can work together to move this country forward.
Well, we know it won't be a beer summit, but it will be interesting to see what those two men can do to bind up the nation's wounds after what was a bitter, hard-fought campaign, and one that, as all the exit polls are showing, reflects deep divisions in this country along lines that are more than about ideas, but about who we are. As I said, an American electorate that crystallized tonight behind Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney drawing most of his votes from white America. So how does President Obama square that circle? Well, tonight he went back to some of the very same language that inspired so many in the country in 2008. He quoted himself, once again reaching for those tones of hope and aspiration in his victory speech tonight. Listen to what he had to say and see if it rings any bells.
I believe we can seize this future together, because we are not as divided as our politics suggests. We're not as cynical as the pundits believe. We are greater than the sum of our individual ambitions, and we remain more than a collection of red states and blue states. We are and forever will be America. And together, with your help and God's grace, we will continue our journey forward and remind the world just why it is that we live in the greatest nation on earth. Thank you, America. God bless you. God bless these United States.
Obama, the orator, once again. But what about Obama, the chief executive? What's he going to do? What is the policy for the next 4 years? And he did touch on that. He talked about the work that needs to be done, laying out in very broad strokes the kind of agenda he foresees pursuing with the Republican House of Representatives in Washington.
You elected us to focus on your jobs, not ours. And in the coming weeks and months, I am looking forward to reaching out and working with leaders of both parties to meet the challenges we can only solve together. Reducing our deficit, reforming our tax code, fixing our immigration system, freeing ourselves from foreign oil. We've got more work to do.
Okay. All right, well, I'm joined now by Chief White House Correspondent Jake Tapper. Jake, this is a sweet victory, no question about it. What has he won, though? What do you think he's now got the mandate or the power to do going forward?
Well, I can tell you what he hopes. He hopes, in his words, that the Republican fever will break. The determination to defeat him, the determination to obstruct what he wants to do, in his view. And he's hoping that because he won, they no longer have an Obama second term to prevent. He can work with them on immigration reform, on tax reform. Those are some of the issues that they've talked about before tonight and the president mentioned this evening.
Good luck on that. And let me ask you, every election tells us something about ourselves as a country. What do you think we learned today?
That the nation is changing, and perhaps in some ways the Republican Party has not yet figured out that those demographic changes are taking place. And I think that politically that's the one thing. And then and more broadly, that we still are a very divided nation, and we are retreating into our own corners even more.
Do you foresee, as somebody who reports on this every day, compromise happening, that bipartisanship that the country yearns for so much? Is there a chance of that?
Well, no one ever went broke, betting. I mean, it's tough. On the other hand, I think the point is that there has to be compromise in the coming weeks, as you know, because of the fiscal cliff that everyone's confronting.
Right. All right. Jake Tapper, thanks very much.
Thanks, Doug.
You're going to be on Good Morning America as well.
Yeah, I'm going to get an hour's sleep.
No rest for the weary.